I'm Adi, and I'm a software engineer at Amazon. And what I've come to understand is a lot of CS concepts actually seem a lot harder than they actually are. So in this video, I'm going to try to explain cloud to you in a way I wish it was explained to me. So the cloud really falls into three buckets: compute, middleware, and storage. All of compute can be broken down into smaller buckets, whereas you have EC2, where you basically control the computer. You tell it what hardware you want, like what memory, what CPU. You tell it where you want it, like literally which country or region you want that computer in. And you get to have full control over it. But often you're making programs that you don't really care. You know, like generally what resources you need, like how much memory you need, like relatively what operating system you need. And so you go to ECS, which are like Docker containers. And you tell it, like, look, just run this program on it. If a lot of requests come your way, then you're going to need more computers. So you say, like, okay, auto scale this up to 10 computers using Fargate. If you need more like granular orchestration and you want to know exactly how to scale everything, you go to EKS. And that's where you start diving into Kubernetes and Docker and stuff like that. Oftentimes, your program isn't going to need, to run all the time and have a lot more like resources as in memory and CPU. So you go to Lambda. We're going to get 10 gigabytes of RAM and you get 15 minutes of something running. And then there's like the middle ground where you know you're going to need more than 15 minutes, but you don't need that many like CPU or memory resources. So you're going to chain a bunch of lambdas together, and you're going to say like this part of the program will run for 15 minutes, then this part of the program will run for 15 minutes, and so forth. And so you build something called a step function. Now you have your compute that's doing the tasks, but you need to move data around, either from one computer to another, or from a computer to a database, or from a database to another computer. And what you're going to need is middleware, which moves information around. If you want to simply move information around, you're going to go to SQS. If you need to alert computer B and C that, hey, computer A is done doing its task, and now you two have to execute, you're going to do something called using an SNS. And SNS notifies other like computers that one job has been done. If you need to alert and then send them information, you're going to do SNS paired with SQS, which is a pub sub pattern. It's very similar to an observer pattern. And then if you're setting up APIs, you're going to go to API gateway. And if you have a bunch of requests coming in and you want to split them across all your computers, you're going to go to a load balancer. Finally, you have your databases and your storage, and that's completely based on how your data is. If you're just storing files, you might go to object storage. If you're storing user information, you're going to go to a PostgreSQL database like RDS. If you have graph-based data or you need vector data, then you'll go to Neptune. And finally, if you have so much data you can't even handle it and it's coming so quickly, you're going to go to NoSQL. That's completely dependent on how your data is structured. That's it.